A few weeks ago, there was a mysterious cut that happened in the NFL, and it was DeAndre Hopkins getting cut by the Cardinals, and we had no idea why he got cut. There was no kind of theories or reports that came out. It was just randomly cut, just cut. So yeah, he was just randomly cut, and they made like a trade with him. So this was an article by the Guardian that came out. So it says DeAndre Hopkins' era is over for the Arizona Cardinals, who are on the hook for quite an expensive breakup. The Cardinals released a three-time All-Pro wide receiver in a salary cap move Friday after they failed to find a trade partner in the offseason. Arizona made the move 3 seasons after acquiring Hopkins in a blockbuster trade with Houston, eventually signing him to a $55.5 million contract extension through 2024. The soon-to-be he's 31? Oh, I didn't know that. 31-year-old Hopkins would have counted close to $31 million against his cap this season. That's pretty funny. He's 31 years old. 31 million. That's kind of funny. But anyway. So after he got cut, he had a dead cap. It was dead money, 22.6 million. It was unknown why they cut him, but a trade would seem more logical. I had no idea who they would have traded to. I'm assuming they maybe could have traded to. I mean, I didn't look too far into who their trade partners would be, but I could maybe say maybe the Falcons or the Panthers would be maybe good trade options. The trade that Houston gave DeAndre Hopkins was a horrible trade. So the trade was back in 2020. I think this was when the pandemic started, when we all got shut down. I think it was April of 2020. And it was when Hopkins was traded to the Texans, to the Cardinals, and then what the Texans got is they got David Johnson, I think. It was a running back. I know that. I think it was David Johnson. I don't remember. But he was I'm not sure if he was washed up at the time. I think he kind of was, because he made a Pro Bowl at one point in 2014. But yeah, it was a very horrible trade that the Texans did, and that's what led to their downfall, in my opinion, and the Deshaun Watson stuff, and that playoff game against the Chiefs. So there was that. It looks like DeAndre Hopkins has found a new team, this time Tennessee. So it says DeAndre Hopkins to sign with Titans. Star wide receiver will join Tennessee on 2-year, $26 million deal, per report. DeAndre Hopkins has chosen his new NFL team. Hopkins has agreed to sign a deal with the Tennessee Titans after visiting with the club earlier this offseason. CBS Sports insider Jonathan Jones reports it will be a 2-year, $26 million deal, worth up to $32 million with incentives per NFL media. The deal is expected to become finalized earlier in the coming week. Hopkins can earn up to $3 million incentives each season, with up to $1 million in bonuses available based on his total number of receptions, receiving yards, and receiving touchdowns per NFL media Hopkins will receive. So it goes like this. So he has $250,000 for reaching 65 receptions, $500,000 for reaching 75 receptions, $750,000 for reaching 85 receptions, and $1 million reaching for 950 receptions, so on, so on. So you get the incentives there. He gets, essentially, if he reaches these goals, he gets more money. The Titans pulled out all the steps as a free agent wideout during their visit on June 11th, even hosting him in a suite at Nissan Stadium for CMA Fest. Hopkins did visit with Bill Belichick in New England as well, but ultimately lands in Music City. Hopkins was released by the Arizona Cardinals in May after the team failed to find a trade partner with him. Discussed that earlier. So you can see here, I guess that was his thing last season. I guess. Was he injured last season? I don't remember. Anyway. Hopkins has the 8th most receiving yards through a player's first 10 years in NFL history, 11,298, and the 4th most receptions. However, the 31-year-old has missed 15 out of the 34 possible regular season games over the past 2 years due to a hamstring injury and a torn MCL and a suspension. Oh yeah, he was suspended. As for why Hopkins chose the Titans, one could point to the familiarity he has with some of the members of the coaching staff. Hopkins and Mike Vrabel worked together for 4 seasons with the Houston Texans, when Vrabel was the defensive assistant